Vault 76 had a horrible launch but has been quite heavily updated since then, the biggest of which being the WasteLanders update, that of the Settlers and Raiders faction. Today we're gonna beat the WasteLanders questline. To start, I talked to the leaders of the Settlers and Raiders and convinced them to get their citizens inoculated against the scorched fires. After that I returned to the Overseer and she told me that we would use an abandoned nuclear plant to produce the inoculations. It was infested with the radiated ghouls, which were quite annoying. Since I'm already inoculated, my blood was used as the flavor for the inoculations. The plant produced the inoculation, then I delivered them to the leader of each faction. After I informed the Overseer that everyone was inoculated, she told me of rumors of a treasure being held in Vault 79 and asked me to meet her at Voltech University to investigate strange meetings between government officials there. Once there, I found Professor Bot, who told me that I need to graduate from Voltech University to gain access to the restricted wing of the university where the meetings took place. To graduate, I had to pass the final exam. For the exam, I needed to investigate a suspected murder in a mock vault. Long story short, it turns out no one was murdered and 2 assistants sacrificed their lives to save the rest of the vault by fixing a reactor. After finishing the exam, I returned to Professor Bot, who granted me access to the restricted wing, the entrance to which was located on the way back down in the mock vault. Once I made it down there, I fought some security robots and made it to the room with chairs and a projector. On the projector was a presentation about all of the US's gold reserves being stored in Vault 79 with highly advanced security systems, so that a new regulated currency could be started after a nuclear apocalypse. After the presentation, I talked to the Overseer and she told me that we were going to need help from either the Settlers or the Raiders to infiltrate the vault, and to go meet with both of their leaders. Right off the bat, I chose Settlers and didn't bother much with the Raiders. I don't agree with the Raiders morally, so it wouldn't be very immersive to side with them. Anyways, when I went to go meet with the leader of the Settlers, Paige, I showed him the blueprints of Vault 79 and he informed me that to get through the vault's reinforced walls we would need a big drill, and I should investigate mining companies to see if they have anything we could use. I went to Hornwright Industrial HQ and became an employee so I could get an ID that would grant me access to the executive floor of the building. Once there, I found information about the motherlode. I needed a repair beacon to save whatever this motherlode thing is. Eventually, I found the repair beacon with little third-party help and deployed it after fighting through some mole miners. What do you know, the repair beacon recalls motherlode to where I deployed it, and the best thing of all is the big drill. Just what we needed. The drill told me I needed to go to Hornwright Estate so I could get it repaired. On my way there, I explored an abandoned shack, but there were no enemies nor loot in it. At the Hornwright Estate, I hacked Penny Hornwright's computer to get an access key card, which gave me access to the Hornwright Estate safe room. Down in the safe room, I met Penelope Hornwright, who had turned into a ghoul but still had a functioning mind. The motherlode had shown up at the safe house too. Penelope, the motherlode's creator, agreed to help me break into Vault 79 as long as the new currency wouldn't discriminate against ghouls. Of course, I agreed, and she asked me to get a Pip-Boy construction kit and a schematic that she would use to repair the motherlode. I found the schematic as Summers filmed the construction kit at Voltech University. I returned to Penelope and gave her the parts, to which she responded with asking me to salvage more parts from robots. I wish she would have just asked me all at once. I don't need the constant back and forth. Nevertheless, I collected parts from a plane, an iBot, and a robo-brain. If you were wondering what a robo-brain is, it's a robot with a brain, but this is just so extremely creative. Before returning to Penelope, I set up a vending machine at my base and upgraded some gear. When I did come back to Penelope at the Hornwright Estate, I ran into a bug that wouldn't allow me to get through the lasers. It just fixed itself eventually, but still extremely annoying. Once I was finally able to get in, I brought the parts to Penelope. She told me she had everything required to repair the motherlode. After I returned to Paige, I told him about the motherlode, and he asked me to talk to Jen because she had a plan to get past the laser defense system. Jen told me to get a Chinese liberator bot so she could track down something that's invisible and untraceable, because the thing she wanted also came from China, so she could modify the bot to find the thing she was looking for. I got the bot from a parking lot near Vault 76. After bringing the bot to Jen, she modified it and told me to deploy it at the White Springs Resort. Once the bot was deployed, it led me to a strange hatch in the ground, which turned out to be a secret communist base. After fighting through a large number of commie bots and commie soldiers, I reached the auxiliary control room where the communist spy was hiding. Jen eventually came to the control room, and the spy turned out to be Jen's mother. The commies threatened to kill her children if she didn't work for them as a spy. I had to not kill her mother for abandoning her and working as a communist spy. Anyway, the whole reason we were here was because Jen's mom had an invisibility suit that we could use to get past the laser defense system in the vault. We got the suit, and I went back to talk with Paige. He told me there are specialists who could help us disable the laser turrets in the vault and marked a spot on the map where I could find them. When I got to the marked spot, I waved the flag in the air to alert them I was there, and they invited me to come in. Once there, I talked to these ex-military guys to convince them that we needed the gold reserves to start a new economy and not just greed. Sergeant Radcliffe told me to meet him at Robco Industries. They might have a way to disable the turrets defending the vault. Once there, I eventually got the tools to disable the turrets. I had to look up the walkthrough, and this part of the quest just sucks. When I got everything I needed, I returned to Captain Fields, the leader of the ex-military guys, and he told me they were all going to Foundation. Before going back to Foundation, I did some preparation for the heist, getting ammo, repairing my armor, stuff like that. At last, I was ready and officially sided with Foundation. Paige told me everyone was meeting at Vault 79 for the heist. When I showed up, though, Penny wasn't there. She had been taken hostage by the raiders at the Hornwright Industries building. Once I got there, I killed all the raiders holding her hostage because I don't negotiate with terrorists. I found Penny locked in a cage and let her free. She told me I had to repair the motherlode because the raiders had broken it. Surprisingly, I didn't have to fight find any parts to repair and just had to go through a maze to find and fix it. At last, the heist was actually started when I returned to Vault 79. I traversed the channel the Motherlode had made that breached the vault's walls. Once in, I had to shoot out multiple turrets and fight defense robots. Once all the hostiles were eliminated, Shen used the invisibility suit to get past the laser defense system and disable them. After fighting through more enemies, including a giant mini-boss, I was able to get into the secure section of Vault 79. There I found some Secret Service agents whose job was to protect the gold and start a new currency. There was a problem though, the reactor in the vault had leaked. They had to lock off a significant amount of the vault and they were running out of food and water. The radiation from the reactor had turned many of them into ghouls. When I got to the reactor room, I found Digger, one of the people who had been turned into a ghoul, but unlike the others, he still had a fully functioning brain. He told me I needed to ventilate the reactor room to get rid of the radiation. I should move stealthily since there were so many ghouls. Of course, I rushed in headfirst, took Psycho and Rat Axe and blew all the ghouls' heads off with my shotgun. Eventually, I made it to an airtight room and started the ventilation. After that, I continued further into the vault and found the gold processing room that had 1,000 gold bullion. After getting all that, I returned to Digger and found him being confronted by his non-ghoul colleagues that told me about the reactor leak. I convinced him not to kill Digger, and that just because he was a ghoul didn't mean he was a threat. After that, I went to the big gold vault that held all of the US's gold reserve. Sadly, I didn't actually get to get all of it though, and all I got was 500 gold bullion because I had to give half of the 1,000 gold bullion to the sellers for helping me. With the bullion, I bought deep-pocketed Brotherhood of Steel combat armor limbs, and with that, I completed every main quest in Fallout 76. That's gonna be it for today, guys. Sorry for the footage quality. There was like 50 gigabytes of footage that I needed to compress so I could edit it. Also, this was my first video writing a long script like this, so if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments and subscribe while you're there. But as always, remember, your parents still think you're a failure.